Would you tell him only in America could this be happening to him today?
Ông ta nói chỉ có ở nước Mỹ thì mới có cái cơ hội này cho chúng tôi.
Yeah, thank you. Cảm ơn.
When Chung was a young boy, his father told him stories about his country, about the beautiful water, the land, and the fields of rice, about the villages and the people. His father told him stories of war and how one night they fled their country and became refugees. They came to America, made a home, built a life, so that one day he might go back.
My name is Chung Truong. Oh, yeah, I'm talking to you. My name is Chung Truong.
You don't have a middle name?
Yeah, my name is Chung Truong.
Oh, so you were lying.
Yeah, I hide the knock because it sounds kind of weird, like knock Truong. I live with my wife and my son, 2 of my dogs, 5 of my fish, and my father-in-law just moved in recently. And I'm a dentist, and I'm also director of the Vietnam Sahaya project. I was born in Saigon, Vietnam, which is, they call it Ho Chi Minh City now. You know, in 1979, he was just trying to find a better life for his kids. And he also was in the war. He was fighting against the North. He was worried about the post-war and to lose everything. So he'd rather take his chances in America. So we actually escaped by boat. Say the capacity is about 200, they'll put like 400 people on the boat. So in order for you to go on the boat, you would have to pay a certain amount of money, but the navigator lied. So when we got on the boat, then they found out he doesn't know how to navigate the sea. They wanted to throw him overboard. My father is kind of a hero. He stopped it. He was kind of like the leader in the ship. So he was like, no, just leave him alone. So the boat got lost for extra time, which is we're running out of supplies and food, water. But my dad told me there was a point he went up to the top of the boat and he just broke down because he thought we were all gonna die. But luckily my uncle, he actually knew some navigation. The person that brought us in was actually pirates, but they weren't so mean that they will like sink your ship. They'll steal your stuff, but then they'll put you to shore. My father, for me, I'm like a tenth of a man of he is, you know. Growing up, he was always my hero because I saw him help people, even though they wouldn't help him back. When my cousin's mom passed away, he took care of all his nephew and niece. So we were living at a house with 14 people sleeping like sardines. Those are hard times. I think I had a very good upbringing, a lot of happiness, and, you know, just normal stuff, skating and drawing and playing games and hanging out with your buddies. I was kind of lost, but when I got to college and I started discovering more about like starvation and famine in the world, I opened my eyes to poverty in the world, and I saw people that were dying, people that were alone, and it was just ingrained in my psyche at that time. I actually had a lot of like sad dreams in college. And I felt depressed because I keep reading about these things. I have a good friend of mine, Alan, and he's like always cheery. One day he just told me like, dude, you gotta stop talking about this like suffering in the world. It's like, you're killing me, right? So I just like, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't even know I was like that. My son is, his name's Noah. He's really super cute, but I call him a riot because he's like a riot. I remember the first time I mentioned that I was going to Vietnam, he's like, this is the worst day of my life. But I think in retrospect, when he grow up, when he understand more, then he'll see that what we give to the world is important. Wait, how about some socks?
Oops. How long are you gonna be gone? Bye, Dad.
Okay. You're gonna miss Daddy.
Yeah.
Something was pulling Chung back to a country he was forced to flee so many years ago.
My name is Koen van Rompuy and I am the founder of Sahaya International. I started Sahaya in 1999. We were initially a very small organization. One of the first volunteers who came forward was Chung.
I was at a party and I was just hanging, I was in college. I had a friend of mine who was just hanging out and there was a big party and he was telling me, hey, I'm working on this nonprofit project and I'm helping some poor kids in India. And, would you like to join us? He told me like, well, they're Indian people. I'm like, it doesn't matter, bro. Poor people are poor, let's do it, right? That's how Sahaya started. And, the meeting was really small. It was just me, Koen, and Reno and Ramen, 2 other people, and like a frozen pizza.
Chung was a very young student. He was an undergraduate student, about 20 years old. I had made some pizza, probably not really good quality.
But Koen made it nice. He cut out some tomatoes.
When I was talking about Sahaya, I saw Chung's eyes just light up. And so he was so excited.
And Koen let us sell some cards that these wonderful women made in India. If you sell these cards, you could like quadruple their income in India and that could help them. They're beautiful cards, really cheap for the amount of work it was. And at that point, I felt that I can do something. It was very simple. It's like a bridge to another world, which I was looking for deep down inside.
Sahaya International is a network of friends across the globe who volunteer their time to help make a difference for people in developing countries, supporting local communities with the resources they need to solve their own problems.
Chung kind of had that itch in his heart that since Vietnam is the country of his origin, that he somehow wanted to give back.
And then I get this phone call from my friend who just came back from a trip. And he's like, you gotta help out Vietnam. And he's like, why are you yelling at me, dude? Because he just went to Vietnam and he got culture shock and he saw all that. It sounds crazy, but that same day, he called me. I had a little DVD that I was delivering to my mother. She's like, go pick up this DVD. I went to my mom's house. She popped in the DVD and I was like, whoa, there's these people building houses for these poor people.
Inside that DVD was the birth of Sahaya, Vietnam.
Chung came to me and told me that he had learned of this program here in Vietnam, where nuns and volunteers of the monastery here were trying to help by building simple homes, by also helping children who needed extra support for their tuition.
Tên của cô là Thích Nữ Hoài Nhẫn, ở trong chùa là thư ký của chùa.
Cô là Thích Nữ Như Hạnh, là chi sự của chùa Úc Sơn.
Sống hàng ngày thì theo cái nguyên tắc của thiền môn thì có thời khóa, thời khóa tu tập. Còn niềm vui, cái kỷ niệm buồn đó là khi còn gặp nhiều những cái hoàn cảnh khó khăn mà chưa được giúp đỡ đó, nhà cửa không có nơi nương tựa đó, trời mưa rồi dột không có chỗ ở, thì những cái hoàn cảnh đó chưa được giúp đỡ thì cô cũng thấy buồn.
Tôi tên Đặng Văn Lành.
Tôi tên Nguyễn Thị Bình.
Đây Đặng Thành Hưng. Và mình là Đặng Thị Ngọc Nhung.
Tên của em là Danh Thị Úc Hiền.
Tên của em là Nguyễn Quang Cặn em.
Dạ, đây là con gái tên Nguyễn Thị Bích Ngọc. Đây là con trai tên là Nguyễn Văn Cầu.
Bà con ở xóm Ghiền thương người ta đem lại cũng được ngừ thì ngày mai cũng được mua đồ.
Đi làm ăn kiếm tiền đủ trang trải vô mua gạo mua thóc ăn vậy thôi.
Buồn mình đi làm mướn hoài không có chỗ nơi ngủ ngơi mưa gió khổ.
Năm sanh bé này là không có tiền, không có nhà ở mà còn sanh mổ nữa, lúc đó không có tiền. Và hai chồng rất là khổ. Nhưng đã có con rồi thì cũng phải gắng sống.
Rồi mỗi lần mưa bão tới thì lo là chiều nay mưa tới rồi để bắt đầu chạy đi kiếm bao, kiếm này kiếm kia đặng dừng, đặng đừng cho mưa tạt vô để lạnh.
These families are living in, shelter made out of rubbish and trash. The floor is unpavement. When we built the home, we have a flooring that's clean, which is sanitation, shelter from the weather, and it increases their health. We also give them some presents of food and some rice. A lot of these families, they suffer from the depression, from insomnia. When it rains, they can't sleep, tropical rain. And we're talking about at least 4 or 5 months out of a year rain.
Mưa gió rồi ngủ ngơi, dột nát rồi này kia. Đi làm cũng không yên tâm. Nhà cửa dột nát rồi đi làm cứ lo nghĩ ở nhà không à.
Một ngày đó là đứa nhỏ nó bệnh không có tiền rồi phải mượn, phải người ta phải mượn chuyện. Lúc đó là khó khăn nhất.
Rồi vợ chồng thì làm thuê không có đất, thì làm ngày nào ăn ngày nấy, có khi công việc không có ổn định.
A family submits an application so the nuns and volunteers can interview them and collect all their basic information. Then Sahaya finds sponsors. For just a few $1,000s, donors can provide a family with a home.
There was a woman who was almost 8 months pregnant. We built the house, and then when she delivered the baby, she brought the baby home to that new house. It was just so happy that baby get to be protected and have a better environment to live.
Chúng tôi đến để cũng như thứ nhất là đến thăm hỏi, sau là làm cái cầu nối để đến với quý hội, để quý hội biết được cái hoàn cảnh mà giúp đỡ như ngày hôm nay.
Trước đây thì chưa có bao giờ được mơ được như vậy chứ. Chị chỉ có biết là có chồng có con sống hạnh phúc là đủ rồi, không có dám mơ được cái nhà như thế này.
Bữa đó chồng đi vắng rồi, còn mình em ở nhà. Rồi đi ngoài đồng á, hái rau á, bên hàng xóm á, cái không biết là chuyện gì xảy ra, không biết có chuyện gì. Cái nghe mấy cô mấy chú nói là bên chùa Vũ Sơn, bên hội bên chữ thập đỏ chùa Vũ Sơn cho một cái căn nhà là.
Nhắc đó thì có một mình ở nhà với 2 con, còn chồng đi mần không không có ở nhà, nhưng cũng rất là mừng, rất là xúc động. Rồi mới cho chồng hay thì hai chồng rất là vui khi được nhận cái tin là có nhà.
It's more than just the physical structure of a house. It's really a home, a beacon of hope, security.
Mấy hai đứa nhỏ nó giỡn hoài làm như nó được ở sạch sẽ quá. Hồi đó giờ nó không ở được nhà tường, sớm nó cũng không có nhà tường để ở nữa. Có tối vô mùng mới khóc. Vô mùng khóc là tại vì mình được nhà mới ở, mình mừng quá mình khóc. Tại vì hồi đó cũng khóc nhiều lắm, tại khóc nhiều là không có nhà ở.
Sahaya International is 100% volunteer based. If you make a donation towards a house or towards a scholarship, the maximum amount of your funds will be sent to Vietnam to help the local people to build those homes, to send their children to school, to get an education, to build a future.
When we were doing interviews for helping applicants build the home, we found that the children were going to school. There's no future if you don't have an education. So then we start to develop a scholarship program because there's no public school you have to pay to go to school. And some families, they could barely feed themselves.
Chắc có lẽ khó khăn của em, có lẽ là lúc mà mẹ em mất thì em chưa bao giờ em nghĩ là lúc ba em mất rồi mẹ em sẽ đi theo ba em. Nên sau khi mẹ em mất em rơi vô trầm cảm. Và em nghĩ là em không thể nào em học tiếp được. Nhưng mà lúc đó là chị em học ở thành phố nên không thể nào mà gần gũi, em ở một mình. Rồi sau khi ba mẹ em mất thì được sự giúp đỡ của cô thì em cũng từ từ đứng vững được. Thì sau khi vượt qua khó khăn đó thì em nghĩ là đến bây giờ em không còn sợ khó khăn gì nữa. Tại vì cái đó nó khó khăn lắm, nhưng em vẫn làm được. Thì bây giờ dù em có làm bất kỳ thứ gì nữa thì em vẫn không sợ. Tại vì em làm được rồi. Em xin hết.
Our goal is to get them from the situation they're living in all the way to where they can have a career. If you put them in school and they succeed, it will actually break that cycle of poverty.
Và về nước sẽ mở một cái gara nhỏ của riêng mình để giúp đỡ các bạn, để tạo công ăn việc làm cho các bạn khác.
Và em sẽ tích góp để cùng với các bạn, với mọi người giúp đỡ lại cho họ và những người khó khăn khác.
Hiện tại mình có hai mục tiêu. Mục tiêu thứ nhất là tốt nghiệp ra trường và có một vị trí công việc mà mình yêu thích. Mục tiêu thứ hai là mình sẽ giảm cân, giảm khoảng 2 kg để cho cơ thể khỏe mạnh.
These children, some of them were studying candlelight, and now they're graduating, and imagine where they're going to end up. And I think that's the greatest success of Sahaya.
Being here really touches me very deeply. Listening to their stories, meeting the students is extremely inspiring and touching. I've actually had many moments where I had tears in my eyes, and just feeling very grateful that I'm part of this collaborative effort and we're able to give these people a better future.
Change, progress, one brick at a time. What really matters is the most basic levels of comfort in our life. A safe home, food, health, being able to send our children to school. What Sahaya gives ripples through the community, gathering strength and soon becoming a wave.
What I've learned through Sahaya and the many programs here is that many of us try to find this basic level of having a roof, a safe home, being able to send your children to school. By providing this to people who are really in need, people like me and also many of our Sahaya volunteers, that's how we find true happiness in life.
On the day that we left the boat, my dad was holding me and he was about to leave me because, we're gonna go on this journey. It was dangerous. I could have been one of those students.
People always think about what they might buy themselves if they ever won the lottery. A fancy new car or an expensive vacation.
Now, passing it by, could go a little further. A little further, it goes to $1 million.
But that's not what Chung's father did. If his dad didn't win the lottery that night, and more importantly, did not teach Chung how to give to others, he might not have gone on this journey with Sahaya. But his dad did win, and at that moment, on that night, all those people in Vietnam did too. A home, a place to love, a place of peace, a place where one journey ends and another begins.